Hi everybody, we are back again with our best tutorial in continuation of our hardening part. So for the other batch tutorial you need to look for hardening part 1, 2 and 3. This is hardening part 4. In this part we will be covering a peculiar topic of Linux which will be dealing with authentication and authorization hardening. So PAM is one of the foot of Linux. What is PAM? PAM is pluggable authentication module. In PAM you define what are the PAM tool types and common PAM controls which will be followed when somebody will be authenticated and authorized to do any function like sudo, like ssh, like tail. So everything and every user is well managed and controlled by PAM settings. So one can control user authentication and authorization in Linux if one has good command over PAM. If somebody want to judge a person that is he a good Linux admin or not, then PAM can be one of the judgment parameter. So PAM is very vast topic and one can have its own way of configuring mixed with default configuration. One need to blend the arguments with PAM modules which include read write, defog, min length, lcredit and many more. So if we goes into the module details of PAM, then I think required around a separate playlist to explain all these PAM parameters. But we can config PAM parameters according to our need. What we require, how many retries one should be given, which should be the minimum length, how many letters in a password. So there are like, if you go into pam.config you will see system config and you will see password config files. You need to change parameters in both files in order to make sure your PAM settings are being configured. So if we talk about hardening prospects, so PAM can be given a good marks if you are really believe in hardening a system. So if you use PAM modules and if you use PAM config with a good planning, then one can say yes, I can control authorization and authentication hardening in Linux. PAM libraries use various PAM modules to authorize user to application. Administrator can customize how library should call various modules with arguments he or she defines. There are many built-in arguments in PAM which are imported during the OS install, but you can customize each and every argument of PAM. You can control how your user behaves while he is accessing an application, or it should be given access to the application. Recommendation for PAM hardening. PAM is not an easy topic that I will be covering in my coming videos. What PAM do, how authentication and password auth and system auth files behave, how you can customize a module. But as this is a hardening part, so I just want to cover this type of hardening that yes, you can do it. So I am just giving an overview. Recommendation of PAM hardening is one should define argument to control password complexity and system auth and password auth separately. That I have already told you. Automated blacklisting on repeated failure authentication attempt. That is one of the good point. You can define automated blacklisting. If there is a multiple attempt, then blacklist that IP. A password strength checking module for PAM-ware password changing program. Min length, L credit, O credit. This is a password strength checking module for PAM-ware password changing program. One should be recommended this because if you are doing it for login apps, then it's good. But if you are using it for PAM, then every new user will be having the same setting and same authorization and authentication hardening. Last but not the least, we are doing it by heart. Please motivate us by subscribing these videos. Hardening part is not to explain each and every configuration. Hardening part is to give an overview what are the various things you can recommend to your management and to your design work to make your Linux environment more hardened. Thanks for watching the video. Please subscribe if you like it. Thanks. One more thing, while we are moving towards this hardening, we should also understand that hardening can vary from one system admin to other admin, but hardening should be following the basics. So the basic loophole in hardening method shouldn't be there. So it should give a hole to hacker or intruder to come into your environment. Thanks. Bye.